They want to change the way they measure inflation because inflation is too high and they want to lower down interest rates so that the market will continue rising, interest payments will go down. But the problem is that if they lower down interest rates, then inflation will get out of control and your dollars will become absolutely worthless. So you are going to get essentially poorer, which is why they've been trying to work around it so that they will come up with a new way to measure inflation. So that yes, prices are rising so fast, but if you look at the inflation data, then inflation isn't as high as it seems. And throughout the last couple of decades, they have multiple times changed the way they measure inflation, which is why when you look at the data, it says that inflation has risen by 3%. And then you look at your life and you're like, well, this is not 3%, this is like 30%. But it is what it is. A few decades ago, house prices were part of the inflation. Today, that's no longer part of inflation because they realize that house is an asset and house prices rise so fast. So if we keep inflation that way, we can't possibly lower down interest rates. So they took down house prices out of the equation and came out with an equivalent of house prices, which doesn't rise as fast as house prices. And now they want to change the way they measure inflation for them to lower down interest rates. Look at the inflation over the last couple of months. You'll see that, yes, inflation was actually going down, but now inflation is 3.8%. But this is just the beginning. If you just look at the projections, inflation by the end of the year literally could rise to as high as 4.2%. And this is like in the best case scenario probably, because if Iran war gets out of control, we are looking at inflation that's 8%, maybe even 10%, who knows? And the inflation even by the next year or the middle of the next year will be around 3.4%. If Iran war did not happen, of course, inflation is going to be a lot lower, but the war is happening. The war is getting out of control, and Donald Trump is furious. First, he was accusing J. Paul of everything, calling him names, but he did not lower down interest rates. And now we have Kevin Warsh, and Kevin Warsh is coming up with a genius idea because no. We will only lower down interest rates when inflation is going to go down. But here's what we do. We'll basically change the way we measure inflation. This is literally robbery because if they do that, it's instantly going to make your dollars a lot less valuable. And if you take the fact that the vast majority of Americans are not in the stock market, they're not investing, it means that they will be hurt. Like the bottom 50% are the first people who are going to suffer out of this decision, out of this new way to measure inflation. If you're in the top 1%, then all you do is just you invest in the stock market. Your money is going up. Your valuations are going up. Your net worth is going up. Even if you are in the top 10%, you're still in the stock market. You own stocks. So you don't care. Yes, the Fed, you want to lower down interest rates? For God's sake, do that. Because I know that, yes, prices will rise and the cost of living will become a bit more expensive or a lot more expensive. But on the other side, my investments are also growing. So I'm getting wealthier. So I don't care about it because one is going to offset the other. But how about the bottom 80%, the bottom 90%? These are the people who will really suffer. Even if you are a doctor, if you are an engineer and you're making like six figures, $300,000, $400,000. First of all, you are by far paying a lot of income tax. That's number one. Now, secondly, the problem is that your paycheck will be able to buy a lot less things unless you're investing in the stock market. And that's why if you look at the richest Americans, like the top 10% of Americans own 90% of the stock market. So if you look at the interest rates over the last 5 years, the highest they have been in recent history was that 5.5%. Now they have gone 3.7%. Here's the question. Why do we even need lower interest rates? For two reasons. The first most important reason is the government deficit. Currently, the government is paying about $2 trillion in interest payments, and the debt is $40 trillion. So people have questions. That debt is unsustainable. The Fed has made it clear. Like J. Paul, who is the previous chair of the Fed, he basically said the government will never pay back the debt, and the government never has to pay back the debt. And if interest payments on that debt are unsustainable, that means that a big chunk of the government's budget is going toward interest payments. But now, if we are going to lower down inflation somehow by manipulating the numbers, we can lower down interest payments. That means that we can lower down interest payments for the government as well. The second reason they want to do that is because they want the economy to keep booming. Since 2008 financial crisis, when we lowered down interest rates to literally zero, the entire economy got hooked on cheap money. The entire economy got hooked on the fact that we now will be operating on interest rates that are close to zero or something below 1%. And now since 2022, that contract has completely changed. We have inflation that is literally above 5%. So companies, governments across the globe, they don't understand how to operate in this business because we are not making nearly enough money to offset for these high interest rates. We should have free money. Interest rates should be like below 2% so that anybody can borrow money. Any company can borrow money. We take the money, we invest it, the economy grows, everybody makes money. But there's one problem is that the real people who will make money are the people who own the stocks, who own these businesses. While everyone else, they see their savings evaporate, they see the real purchasing power of their wages go down, so they're essentially losing money. And that's the biggest problem with this system. So how exactly they want to change the way we measure inflation? If you look at the current system, the main measurement of inflation is literally CPI, Consumer Price Index. And if you look at the CPI over the last month that we have the data for, total inflation or the total CPI was 3.8%. The prices on food has risen by 3.2%, and if you literally exclude energy and food, that will be 2.8%. So the main driver of inflation last few months were 17.8% increase in the price of energy. Since the war in Iran started and they have closed the Strait of Hormuz, there is a shortage of oil in the market. Oil prices literally doubled. And there is a probability that by the end of the year, oil prices will literally jump to $150 or $170. And if you look at that trajectory alone, it's very clear that inflation will continue rising. So we have to do something about it. A very easy solution is, of course, to stop the war with Iran. But that we don't want to do something like that because we have a grand strategy to change the global world. So what we will do is that we'll just change the way we measure inflation. That's by far the easiest thing we can do. And the new system is called trimmed mean. Instead of measuring inflation the way we did, we're basically going to remove the price shocks. The current inflation data tracks different kind of goods, from foods and beverages to housing. Now, housing isn't tracking the actual house prices, but they have created an equivalent to house prices that does not rise as fast as house prices. Because if they would have added house prices actually in the inflation data, inflation would be much higher. And this is the problem with the system, that they keep changing the system to fit their narrative. And the problem with that is that people look at the data and then people look at their lives and they realize that, no, that's not the real inflation, because I can see that in my personal life. I can see that every time I go to Walmart. I can see that every time I go to Tesco. I can see that every time I do my groceries. So you have stuff such as medical care, recreation, education, and so on and so forth. So the new system essentially says that if there is any kind of price shocks because of some kind of geopolitical reason in the world, we should not be including that in the inflation data. How convenient that is. So if there is a war, if there is a shortage of food, if there is a shortage of energy, we should not be including that. So if oil prices significantly rose this month, we just should exclude it out of the inflation data because that's not accurate, because that's not the real inflation, but rather that's more like something happened in the world. So next time when you have such data that you see in front of you right now, where inflation has risen by 18% when it comes to energy, we should just exclude energy and that will be our new inflation data. Isn't that very convenient? So the government can do whatever it wants to do. It can start wars if there is any kind of a crisis in the world, if prices suddenly significantly rise and food prices rise, groceries prices rise so fast. We're not going to make it part of the inflation. If house prices rise so dramatically, I mean, who cares? It's not going to be part of inflation. So no matter what happens in the world, inflation will stay at around 2%, maybe even less than 2%. We can keep lowering interest rates even if life is becoming so unaffordable for the vast majority of people, especially for the bottom 50%. Here's the question. Why would they do that? Because they want to devalue the dollar, because in the current economy, they're not winning, especially the US government. The US government is in trouble. We have to find a way to lower down interest payments, and we can't simply do that. You see, if you look at the US financial system, everybody owns US treasuries, and everybody owns US treasuries because they pay you an interest rate or a yield that is higher than inflation. And if yields are not higher than inflation, then investors don't see a single reason to invest in these treasuries. But if we artificially bring down inflation data by changing the way we measure it, suddenly the yields today that are paying 3.6% and the inflation would be like 2%, like the artificial inflation they're actually creating. Because based on their data, the current inflation should be about 2.3%. So that literally justifies for the Fed to lower down interest rates. So it seems like Kevin Walsh isn't simply going to lower down interest rates, but rather he's simply going to use a completely different metric to lower down inflation so that he will be able to justify his lower interest rates. The question you should be asking yourself is that how is that going to impact you? If prices will rise much faster, you're directly going to get a lot poorer. So here's the question. How are you going to protect yourself against this crisis? The only way you can protect yourself is by investing in the right assets, because the average person who is not investing in this economy is directly losing to the dollar, is directly losing to the system. And if this system is going to continue, think about how high inflation is going to be. But that is not going to be part of the data. And each year you will keep getting significantly poorer. And in a couple of years, we'll simply get used to this new system. Everybody is getting poorer, but inflation shows that it's just 2%. So start investing, start buying the right assets, the assets whose prices are going to appreciate every single time the Fed is going to lower down interest rates. If you have enough money, you can of course go and invest in real estate. If you don't have much money, start with the stock market. And if you don't know how to start investing in the stock market, if you don't know which assets you should be buying, if you don't know which stock you should be buying, you can always join the Investing Academy and find that out. You will get a step-by-step strategy on how to start investing and which stocks you should be buying. The link is in the description of this video.